no, you can go on, please.
Can I continue?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes,
And
yes.
I hope this is the first meeting from
I think, could you please
a lot
mute
of
me?
meetings in the future.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye.
I think.
Okay, you can continue, please, Neil.
Okay, I was saying that working closely with families is really important in communities, because the families know exactly what sort of problems they face. For example, in Afro Solution, we've been working closely with parents, not only with students, because considering our African traditional culture is vital, really vital to raise the awareness of the impact of educating girls to be mothers and to be wives. Of course, it is important at some point of our life as a woman's to get married, but it is important to mobilize mother groups to raise awareness and disrupt certain traditions, like making only girls working around homesteads, only girls selling on streets. And because those traditions put girls and women in real position of disadvantage, and this is really alarming. And it is also important that women itself, besides building family, they should raise interest on aspects that are solely related with their professional development and personal development, which is really important. So it is recognizing the barriers and break the social paradigms that hinder girls and women's success is really important, as it was already said here. It was told that one main barrier is poverty. In remote areas, there are families living in unfavorable conditions, and they have no ways to secure school attendance, for example. In very specific situations in which girls are on their menstrual period, poor family can't afford buying the towels. And in this specific situation, we notice that the girls, it's hard for them to achieve managerial positions or a technological position in future, because there are many barriers. And the solution for this is using social media to raise awareness and asking for donations of hygienic towers, asking donation of didactic cleaning up sections of toilets in public schools, and involving the governments is also important. Another barrier is the cost of accessing internet. And so it's the reason why partnering with governments is so important. Unfortunately, in many African societies, government has not played the role in full, and the existing public policies are not really favorable. So what the Afro Solution is doing is supporting teaching on making supporting the teachers and increasing the access to girls in primary schools, supporting the government in engaging some leaders of the communities to teach classes, doing sections of capacity building of teachers, and use making the professionals to use their skills and using smartphones, using softwares and other equipment of basic courses of programming, web development, and APP. And there is a lot of research showing that girls are capable of working with those materials. So another issue that we've been seeing is the electricity. There are a lot of electricity issues in schools and homes, and it makes almost impossible for girls to be acquainted with dealing with technology. So as a CSO, it is important to create strong movements to encourage girls and women to raise interest in STEM, working closely with other stakeholders from the private sector, uh, and is really, really important for making girls and maintaining the gender equality in a society. So thanks a lot for this opportunity. Hello.
Yeah, thank you very much for that beautiful piece. This is indeed solid solutions for non-profit organizations to follow. We appreciate the fact that you've been able to help us to expose what the challenges are. We need to engage the communities more, like you said. We need to create more mentorship programs. Working with families is very important. These are valid solutions to the issue that is on ground. Please, because of time, we want to move on to our next speaker, Uyoyo. I'm not seeing Uyoyo here. Uyoyo? Okay. Mata. Oh, sorry, Mata, we still can't hear you. Okay. I think we're going to move on to Adebola Adeuti. Adebola, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly I can hear you.
Okay.
There is no way we're going to talk about all these issues and we won't try to understand what the law says about this. And you as a law practitioner and a women rights advocate, highly passionate about defending the rights of women and especially girls, with your impeccable track record in the non-profit sector. Can you tell us what the law states about these issues that we are talking about?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. And I'd like to thank all the participants so far. They've spoken abreast and they've spoken extensively on the issue. Let me start by saying this. The law is supposed to be a social engineering tool that is supposed to repair the ills of the society. So for every sector we are talking about, there are always positions of the law. Talk about technology, medical line, economy, there is always a provision of the law for all these sectors. So it's very paramount for us to look at provisions of the law. And all of African countries, it is interesting to note that there is no single provision of the constitution that prevents or forbids girls and women from participating in technology. So despite this fact, we still have a lot of women and girls that are not involved in technology. They don't know what is it. They don't have access to it. They are not even interested. So in as much as the provisions of the law are very clear on this issue, we have Child Rights Act, we have Convention on Child Rights, we have different protocols and all of this. And they deal with the empowerment of the child. The child here means both girls and boys. So in as much as we have these provisions, they're just there. They're like toothless bulldogs. They're not hearty. They're just there on paper. They have a lot of policies, we have a lot of conventions. They are still even drafting more. But I'm here to say that we don't need laws. We don't need more laws. We only need the enforcement of these laws. So how do we begin to enforce this law? First, awareness. How many African girls or how many African women understand the provisions of this law? How many of them understand that it is their right? When you say something is your right, as a citizen, you are entitled to it. You have no limitation. You can exercise it as it's when due. You can always lay claim to it that, oh, I'm an individual, I'm a human being, I have the right to exercise my freedom of choice. If I want to participate in technology, if I want to be active in the tech world, I can do that. There is no limitation whatsoever to my gender. So I think awareness is what we need. We don't need more laws. We don't need to start making a lot of policies and start saying, oh, let's do a lot of laws, or let's go to the legislative house and start debating on it. The laws are there already. So what we need now is enforcement, awareness, and how to make sure that there is implementation of this law. First, as I'm emphasizing on this awareness, we can't do it without awareness. We need to go back to the primary stage, like from the home. How do we begin to do this? It starts from you buying toys, teddy bear for girls. I buy computer games. I know all those kind of computer games for boys. Then you only buy teddy bears for girls at all. What are you trying to tell them from that little stage? So when girls grow up with that stage, the only thing they know is teddy bear, how to bathe, how to rub powder on teddy bears. They're not involved in technology. They don't want. They see it as, it's masculine, because that is the way we are raising them in Africa. A lot of families, they still believe, oh, if I want to buy anything, I choose pink for the girls, I choose blue for the boys. And, it's a lot of limitations as they are growing up. So when they get to secondary school, you see them more in humanities, arts, and all of those. So there's nothing wrong in them picking their choice, yes. But, a lot of these choices are influenced by the way they were brought up, by the orientation, their mentality, how were they raised. So when we start from the primary stage, we start from home level. I think when they grow up, they will have that understanding. They can broaden their choices. That yes, I can pick from this area. I'm capable. I have intellect. I'm also an intellectual. It doesn't really have to be the boys in the engineering field alone. I can do whatever I set out to do. I've been playing with games all over my life. I can put them back. I can actually take a lot of them, remove them one by one, fix them back. I've done that when I was in primary school. So there should be nothing stopping me from graduating on that level in secondary school. So I think we need to get that straight. Then the women that are in technology again, I think they need to come up. So there's still low participation, but I think they need to be more visible. Let the girls understand that you can be in technology and you not lose your femininity. A lot of times girls are scared. They're like, oh, so if I start working in ICT, I start working in digital world, it's been like, oh, maybe I can lose my femininity. Maybe I may not even be allowed to rub powder, do makeup, do a lot of things. And girls want to be girls. They want to be free to express their choices. They want to look cute. They want to look gorgeous. They don't want to lose their femininity. So I think what we should try to do is striking this balance. Yes, it can be in the digital world, it can be in the tech, and you still have that cute femininity. You can't lose it. It's who you are. So I think we need to do more in all of this. Then, by virtue of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, talks about the freedom of choices, freedom of expression, freedom to participate in whatever you want to do. In fact, there is a provision that expressly states that there should not be any discrimination based on your gender. That is, I can say nobody should even discriminate against me on the basis of your gender, color, status, anything you have. Be it you have 10
Okay,
houses,
I'll try another
you have one
device.
house.
Are you hearing me? I'll try another device.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you.
Continue, please. Continue, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes, continue.
Okay. So now, as I was saying, there are a lot of provisions in our law that forbid this from discrimination and all of them. Okay, let me read section 38 now. Section 38 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria states that every person shall be entitled to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion. So from that thought mind, from that mindset, from that mentality, from that rational being, you can always think that, oh, this is what I want to be. There is no limitation for me. If I want to draw in, if I want to build a career in tech, I have the right to. It starts from the mind. So the way we raise a lot of girls in Africa, the way we raise a lot of women in Africa shows to a great extent what we need to do. Raising awareness, their mentorship, the people, the women involved, the women that actually are the front line in all this technology should come out. They should tell girls, see, we are engineers, we are this, we are that, we are not losing our femininity, we are making it. It's our career, it's our choice. We're happy with the way we are living our life. So when girls and a lot of women see women like them and girls like them thriving in the tech, I'm very sure that it will change a lot of things. But if you have men just come out and tell them that, oh, see, you can do this, they might not necessarily, reason along the line of thought as they would if they see a fellow lady like them or a fellow woman like them coming out and telling them that, see, I'm a girl like you, I'm a woman like you, and I'm working in this area, and I'm not doing bad. So those are things that I think we need to bring a lot of things on board. And with regards to sustainable development that's goal 5, gender equality. I think that is the crux of our discussion. How do we bring that gender equality in? How do we ensure that girls and women are being involved in technology? Beyond enrollment of girls and ladies in school, beyond just attendance of girls in secondary school, quality education, that's sustainable development goal 4. It goes beyond mere attendance. It goes beyond mere enrollment. It actually do with sustainable education that is sustainable, that can, thrive in the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Can it yield results? Are you really happy with the choice you're making? Or they just force you that, oh, you're a lady, I don't think that engineering sector can be for you. Because what? You get married, you raise kids. So these are the mentality that I think we need to correct. We need to be able to change their notion. They see, you can be you're a lady, yes, fine. You get married, fine. You raise kids, fine. And it shouldn't affect your choices. Your gender should not be a barrier. Your gender should not be a discrimination to anything. It shouldn't impede your growth. Your gender rather should be something that should influence your orientation, that should influence your choices. That yes, I'm a lady, I'm a girl, and it doesn't really affect anything I want to do. I can sail, I can rise above all kind of barriers and all of those. So I think we need to work on that mentality. In Africa, we have a lot of debt. We have raised, and we are still being raised with a lot of those gender discriminatory mentality, attitude, societal rules that are written and they are not written. People just believe as a girl, you have to give up on your dream. You don't have to drink so much. You don't have to fly. You don't have to soar. You have to lower your dreams. All of those things that I believe we really need to work on and talk on. Because if we don't do this, our laws will just be lying dormant. It will even be as if we don't have laws. So I think that is what we can really do as the position of the law. The laws are there, but we have to make a lot of awareness on those points. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Adebola, for that wondrous, beautiful presentation. I love the fact that you took us back to the foundation where we buy the toys for the boys and we buy teddy bears for the female. I think that affects the mentality of our girls, and growing into a woman, it's now difficult to bridge the gender the gap in technology. Thank you very much for that, and also thank you very much for elaborating what the provision of the law states regarding this particular issue. We really appreciate you. So I think the matter, your audio is. Let me unmute you now. Okay. Can you unmute yourself from there, please?
What?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Okay. Good afternoon. Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So happy to hear. Yes, clearly. Can you hear
Sorry
us?
for all the technical faults. Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Don't worry, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'll be
Cool.
talking on tackling the barriers. Yes.
Yes, and we want you to be brief about it.
I'll summarize.
Brief about it.
I'll
Yes.
summarize.
Beautiful.
I'm talking about tackling
the
the barriers of digital inclusion in underprivileged communities. When you talk about digital inclusion, for privileged communities, it's not a problem. What is to take somebody in the society to achieve digital inclusion? It will take somebody in an underprivileged community times 2, or not even times 2, times 5 of that effort. So I've been dealing with girls since the beginning of this year. Before the lockdown, I was able to go into some communities. We target we target schools, public schools in Nigeria. And you know very well, in Nigeria, most of the children in public schools are from underprivileged communities and even families. So it took us so much of effort, and we were able to achieve a lot. We go to public schools, we teach them, and they are happy. First, I would like to call on the government, especially the local government, to tackle these barriers, to be very deliberate. Secondly, when we talk of accessibility, within a town or within a city, you can get internet connection easily. But I must tell you, when you go to the underprivileged communities, maybe the villages, you have to take your own data there and have to encourage these girls to connect to the internet. And I've been to places where we have schools. I want to appreciate NITDA and the Ministry of Science and Technology, but I would like to plead that it's not sufficient for you to provide computers without facilitators, without computer teachers. You need to provide resource persons who can teach these girls. So I'm also going to plead with CSOs like AfriGrowth and every other partner on this platform. It's not enough to just reach out to children or to girls within the cities. You have to have a plan to reach out to girls in also the rural communities, in the underprivileged communities. So what we do most time, we go there as volunteers. You have to travel for hours. So we're talking about funding, transportation, electricity. You have to fuel the generator. So you have to make provisions for such. You go there, you train them, you come back, you plan some, and it's so exciting because some of these girls are excited for the first time they are touching computers, for the first time they are owning computers, for the first time they are trying to see how they can connect to the internet. CSOs must do a lot. I noticed that only very few organizations have that as their objective. Many people are focused on, okay, other issues that affect gender, but issues of digital inclusion, children in the rural area or girls in the rural area are really, really exempted, and they are left behind. And we have been doing our best. Fortunately, we'll say we've been able to train almost 500 girls in that aspect. We go there, we teach them word processing and the basics of ICT. And it's been very wonderful. CSOs must work, all hands must be on deck. Let the government, especially the local government, because we are talking about people in the grassroots. We are talking about people down there, not people who are average. No, you must have deliberate policies. I had the secretary, Mr. Vincent, talking about they had something like that in Gombe State. I'm not aware. And you just started a small group of people. Most of the CSOs, their objective is not tilting towards digital inclusion, especially for us in the Northeast. So I will encourage CSOs, please, network together, partner together to see how you can reach girls down there. They are very excited, they are very open, and with level of awareness, some of the awareness is, the awareness is low. So when you go, you are just going to be the one who will open the door and sell the vision to them. I think I have to summarize, as I said. It's been wonderful speaking. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Martha. That was a beautiful. I love the fact that you said something like computers without facilitators isn't enough.
Yeah.
That is solid enough for government institutions to, to take note of that. Before Ayodele Showole, I know you have a question, but before that, I just want to reiterate the fact that AfriGrow Foundation, for the past 15 years, we've been visiting these communities like yours, this program, so that we can share these challenges, these solutions, these issues to better what we are doing. I think I need to let you know that too, and we're also encouraging other CSOs to join us, so that these solutions that we're providing, the impact will be really felt, because it is not just about the girls in the cities. You're looking at Ayosha, what you have something to say? Okay. Please unmute.
Good afternoon, everybody. I really want to say I appreciate what everyone has said so far, from Blanca Pichado to Mata to Nolan. it has been a great experience being here. And it is true why there is great need to involve girls in technology. Just like Debola rightly mentioned, right from when we are young, we believe anything technology is made for boys. And that's why most times the toys, cars, and every other thing, they bought it for boys. But anything relating to fashion and the rest was supposed to be women or girls. So girls have been raised to believe that fashion, kitchen, home, and every other thing that's their sport. But
Unfortunately, yeah.
with the development of things we are seeing now, it shows that it goes beyond that. There shouldn't be anything limiting women to kitchen, house chores, and decoration. They should go beyond that, technology-wise. And so far, so good with girls like Blanca. We realize that we have girls, ladies, coming up now to hold on to that mantle of authority to show that yes, we too we can cope with technology, and that is a beautiful thing. So I want to encourage all of us. So I think just like my question I raised earlier on in the chat box, there is need for us to create a kind of awareness to let people know the impacts of technology in women's life, not just men, in girls' life generally, so that it won't be as if it's a man's world or it's a men's world. It has to be every one of us. We are all in this world. We can all create impact positively to people's life, especially as technology is this now. Because this COVID-19 of 18 has made it known to all of us that we need to progress technology-wise. So either we are a girl or a boy, there is need for us to have added knowledge on technology. So thank you. Kudos to everybody. Kudos to Blanca, Mata. I really appreciate all. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you
And that's
very
very
much
true, actually.
for that comment.
Yeah, I think we need
Thank you very much.
to help parents
So,
to know that
we
it's
are
not. Hello?
Are they hearing us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
okay. Do we have any question for the resource? People, is there any question we want to raise?
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. No, just I was wondering if this is mostly a problem related uh, to cultural mindset, right? I mean, that the main problem we are facing is about mindset. I mean, it's the way we are raising girls, that we are raising them differently than boys, and also that it's like we are meant to do some certain things, right?
Yeah.
It's, this is more something like that, I think.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think that the traditions and the mindset that many African society have is one of the big issues, but it's not the only one. I think poverty and lack of commitment from governments is also a very huge issue. And I think that it was Mr. Vincent who was talking about the UN goals, and I just would like to add another goal, which is the goal 17 for the United Nations, which is related with the partnerships. I would like to say that creating solid partnerships among governments, among communities, and among the CSO is really important to tackle the issue of gender equality. and the other issues that we've been facing in the society that are hindering the implementation and making the sustainable development a reality. So it is really important to get people, as more people as involved in tackling those particular issues that we've been talking here, because it's really there's a lot to be done. I'm aware that a lot of things are being doing. For example, Blanca was mentioning that she doesn't feel that um, her company is really inclusive. I also have the same impact. Company are inclusive, but even inclusive companies, when it comes to dealing with with very specific issue, for example, I used to work on offshore rigs, and for a girl to be there and sharing a room with a man, for example, they don't
Yeah.
foresee
No.
they don't foresee the impact it has for a girl to work in an offshore rig, for example. So we are there working
Yes.
with technology, but there is no inclusivity when it comes to facilities. You see, there is a lot of things to see even in inclusive companies.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much for these contributions. We really appreciate this. We need to wrap up the meeting now. President of Africa Foundation once again to give us a concluding remarks.
Okay.
hello.
All right. Thank you so much. All are very delectable with their speakers, but most importantly, what I am most grateful for is the passion with which you have spoken, sharing your ideas, and I'm sure our targets are more than, happy, satisfied, but most importantly, even I am very, very impressed with the quality of deliverables we got today. So for that, I say a huge thank you. And I also want to request, like an Oliver Twist, I haven't paid for this, but you know what? I'm going to ask for you to please use your opportunity, your knowledge, and you can connect with us in AfriGrowth. Let's keep reaching out to quite a number of our young people. I work with them, and I would just crack a joke here where I was told later that they thought I loved young people because I didn't have children. But of course I have children. And it was just my own way of giving back. A lot of our children go through a lot of pains, but I know today, by sharing your knowledge, you've all done wonderfully well and great things to impact their lives. So with this, on behalf of AfriGrowth Foundation, I say thank you so much. And I do believe that moving on in future, you will be more than happy to work with us again. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Well done.
Thank you so much,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Well done.
everyone. Blanca,
Okay.
Meh, Martha, finally.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye.
We'll keep the
Bye,
conversation
everyone.
going. A link will be shared with all of us, and from there we can continue the conversation. Then the meeting is recorded, so very soon you're going to get a link from us where you can